Hello, and welcome back to KitbashCarnage. So, today, folks, we are basically going to kitbash a quick little dude. So, basically, we have this fella here that we're going to turn into a different fella. So, let's start off with, well, one of his arms is gone already. So, let's see, can we take the other arm off without breaking it? Not really. The head has to go for definite because I don't like this little antenna here. So we're going to take that off. So let's start with the antenna, or the head, shall I say. Easier said than done. And then let's take off the arm because I don't want this arm on. And then I like the fact that he has a gun on the back of him there. These little knife holders here are quite cool. Let's snip the arm there because with definitely you're not going to have an arm to connect into that like little connecting point there. And this is the base we're going to use because this is the base we made in a previous video. So look back on, I think it's a playlist for a tutorial for bases. So look back and you'll see us making a base like this. So basically it's just has some Flora Green Stuff World paint so it glows in the dark. Or shall I say under blacklight. And then just a little shield here, some bony bits there, and he's going to hopefully fit kind of like that on him. But we'll figure out how that all works. First of all, we need to get some more bits. So going through all of our bits that we have here. Let's see, can we find some type of arms or something to go onto this guy. So I've been trying to organize my bits so you can see I've got them categorized so far. And there's all the orc bits. So put all them aside. We have a few arms here. So actually, hold on. This might work out. I think I think that's like a Gene Stealer arm. Yeah, that's like a Gene Stealer arms there. But there was another arm in here. Hold on. This one here with the sword is what I want. If I can get it out. There we go. So this arm here, we could use this one. And that could be our one side of our arm. So we'll use that. And then in here there was a giant gun. Yeah, there's the giant gun. So this giant gun we could somehow incorporate into this. So let's use that giant gun. And then see, can we go for another arm of some sort? I think this would be quite cool. A giant claw coming out of it. So we'll go with the giant claw. I hope everybody can actually hear me properly, to be honest. Somebody let me know in the comments below if you can hear me. I don't even know how to look at the comments. It's a terrible live stream, but however, we're learning, folks. We're learning. So we'll pick that giant claw, and then we'll go with the Gene Stealer arm here. Attach it with the gun. Now all we need is a head. So we'll get rid of them bits, and we'll go into our other bits boxes. So here you see I'm trying to organize some more bits. A few Necron arms and stuff there. And then we have some heads. So if we go into this, And we shall find a head that we want to use. So some type of a corrupted kind of looking head. Maybe can anybody point out some type of head? Where do I get all the bits? I get all the bits from eBay lots. So basically just from collecting over time, I just bid on some lots on eBay or from friends, fellow YouTubers and whatnot and collectors, and just come across certain bits. And then as you can see, I have all my little containers, and it's an easy way to organize stuff. So I have all the same heads all organized in their own little container, and yeah, I have them organized in a container when they don't fall everywhere. But it just keeps everything kind of that much more simple. So for instance, this guy here would be quite cool to use because he has a beard. I'm guessing he's part of like the Wolfenstein, or like, you know, the faction that's got like wolves. I don't know if anybody knows, but we'll use this guy's head. So we've got the head, we've got the arms, we've got the body. Now it's time. You really don't want to see these bits. Yeah, that's even more crazy. And these bits, we have capes and stuff, so we'll try and pick something out here. So I don't know. What do we want to use? There's some shoulder pads there. Maybe some shoulder pads would be quite good. So if you have a look here, we have some shoulder pads with some spikes and stuff on them. If I can get the camera angle properly. So I use something like that to cover up the seams of the joints of where the arms are going to go. And then we get another one out here. Kind of a smaller one. Looks kind of more, I don't know, flat there, but we'll snip that off, rough it up, and make it not look as flat as it is. Thank you everyone again for just popping in and checking out the live stream. It's just a random live stream that I thought about doing because why not? I'm due to release a video soon as well, and I thought a little random live stream before I go to bed would be quite cool to do. So in here we have some small grenades and stuff, so I'm just going to take out a few of them, and we use a couple of them, maybe a few more. There we go. Just stick all this stuff onto the guys. I am going to have a series where I kitbash over a whole month. Joshy B, how's things, buddy? How you been? Over a whole month, kind of, and I'm going to take my time, and you will see how I use all these bits exactly by, you know, I have two ways of how I kitbash. One of the ways is what you're seeing right now, where I kind of just kitbash very quickly, and the second way is where I take my time and I plan out the kitbash bit by bit, and I seek out certain bits in order to do the model itself instead of just picking random bits. So this is our dude we're starting off with. So take a good look at this guy, because in the next hopefully few minutes he won't look like this. Oh, very nice, buddy, very nice. Happy days. Third in comp. Can't complain. As long as you don't drop your models like I do, I'm sure they look brilliant. Right, so first things first. This gun that's getting attached onto the Gene Stealer arm, I think this is a Gene Stealer arm. We need to remove this hand here, attach that there, but I really want to keep this arm, so we're just going to snip it at the joint, remove that, keep that bit in a box, get some very fine sandpaper, and then just sand that down. Now, like I said, I'm using shoulder pads to kind of cover the joints, so I'm not too fussed if it doesn't look the best sanded down. It's just to not have any rough edges. Right, so that's that done. So then we're going to get our Tamiya extra thin cement. But before we do that, let's not rush ahead too far. Let's chop this hand off here. So I need to get myself a sharper pair of snips. So if we do that, and then go from underneath, and there we go. I don't know how I got as good of a cut as that, but however, we should go with it. And then sometimes what I like to use is nail files and cut them into long strips. It's just a cheaper way of buying, instead of buying all these very thin pieces of filing paper. You know, like this thing definitely costs much more money than this. This cost a pack of 5 long, big, huge nail files. So basically, something this size, pack of 5 of them costs 50p, whereas a pack of 5 of these costs like £2. So you can cut these into tiny strips like I am here, and I just use these just to file stuff that a little bit better, sand it down, file, sand. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm very tired, guys. I need sleep. Exactly. Primark. I think that's where the missus got them. I don't know. I think I got these from like a Pound World or something. I don't even have a clue. It's been so long. That goes to show how long they last. If I can't remember where we got them. Right, so we're going to attach this hand here. Hopefully about here. So the thing with Tamiya extra thin cement is it's like it like bonds the material. Okay, so that's not going to go in there. So let's just make a much better joint here. So let's just get this right. So if that's going like that, then behind it needs to go more flush, which means, sorry if I'm rambling there, guys, but this is how my brain works. I'm kind of coming up with the solution as we go. Make sure that joint position is extra flush. Bit of extra Tamiya. I'm running out of Tamiya as well. Really should have planned for this on the fly live stream. We're running out of stuff and we're doing it on the fly. Right, so the joint. I just try hold this as the best of our ability and get this to stick, please. There we go. Kind of. It's kind of sticking. So that's kind of how we want it. So let's just try stick that down without dropping it. Please do not fall off. Please do not fall off. Thank you. It didn't fall off. Okay, so do you know what we didn't do? Oh, we did. We did get ahead. There we go. So this guy's head. Oh, this guy's head has to fit in here. And he actually kind of fits quite well in there. But what we're going to use to help that head fit in there is one of our bits of green stuff balls that we always keep. So I tend to keep these little balls of green stuff. If you've ever used green stuff, it's this. Yes, it's not green, it's blue and yellow, but when you mix it together, it turns green. And this bit in between where they join is quite tough and doesn't really, it's not that usable, but you can still use it. So I just do little things like this, create little balls and stuff like that with it, and it means you can reuse it. So like you're gonna see right here, if I get one of these little balls out, and then if I get some super glue, so not Tamiya extra thin cement, but actual super glue, because it's not a plastic that we're going to use, it's the green stuff. So we put some super glue in there, then we drop the green stuff in. So now the green stuff is sticking to the miniature, and then we'll stick some more super glue over that, and then wherever the head is, there it is, we shall stick the head on top of that. So it would go like that, if that makes sense. If I can actually get this to stick, it will go like that. Well, hold on. Let us just chop a wee bit off there. There we go. Now we'll go like that. So the saying on the channel is more glue is always good. So yeah, don't forget about that. More glue. Come on, little dude, get your head in there, man. That totally sounded so wrong. But yeah. Okay. His head's kind of there. It's in. We're still sounding totally wrong. I should just stop talking right now. If anyone joined right now at this stage, they'd be wondering what are we going on about. Have I found a glue stick sponsor? Unfortunately, no. No. I need a glue stick sponsor. I need a glue sponsor, because if I just gradually move this over, you will see all the glue and stuff here. That, oh my god, and there goes the Tamiya extra tin. It's all over the place. Welcome to KitbashCarnage, folks. Where things go wrong. Okay. We'll be right back, folks. There goes the head. Okay. 1 second. 1 second. Don't worry. We're back. We're back. I just got some tissue paper because, yeah. That's all Tamiya. So, if we weren't out of Tamiya extra tin cement already, we definitely are now. So, now we have to go and get extra tins that Tamiya cement at one point. Not right now, but at some point in the future. There's our head. Yeah, I know, yeah. Look. Yeah, we're down to the bare bones. But I don't understand, because the little stick doesn't even go down to the bottom of it. So it makes no sense. So, right, where were we going? So, let's stick a little wee arm coming out of here. So for that, well, we need to use this super glue. So I've already said in a few videos that there's a lot of super glues. I use Tamiya Extra Thin for sticking plastic to plastic. Super glue sticks, well, a lot of stuff to a lot of stuff because it's super glue. Then we have kind of a gel super glue, and this is used for the same principle as normal super glue, but the difference with this is it can kind of hold like the piece that you're trying to glue in place. So for instance, the head that keeps falling off because the super glue is too thin that we first put down. If we put a dollop of this super glue down, then we put the head down, this super glue is more thick and it should hold the head in place better. Emphasis on the should, okay? Emphasis on the should. Joshy, I'm so sorry if you're talking to me, buddy, and I'm not replying. Hold on, I'll just click the button. The other day, apparently, oh, I'll figure that out on another point, because right now all my fingers are trying to stick together with this super glue and this super glue, and then yeah, but yeah, I would definitely give that a shot, because if it does come down and oh right, I can't even get this head to stick. If it does come down and I can reach the bottom of it, well then that's a win. I won't need to just buy a new Tamiya for the sake of it, because I need a refill. Stay there. Apologies everyone who's watching and is wondering what am I doing. I'm trying to kitbash. Also, if you've seen my bits, you will see, or you will see now, I'm also trying to grade all my heads into different settings. So basically, this is all one type of head, this is all one type of head, and this is all... And they could be slightly different, like one has one eye open, one has something else, don't like, yeah, so I'm going proper OCD when it comes to organising all my bits. In the long run, I'm saying to myself, it will make life so much easier. Yep, I definitely have lots of bits coming in. Also these bits too. Some eyes that we got for some future projects. And some nice miniatures. So we have something like this. That, believe it or not, came off Temu. Not a sponsor, but not a bad miniature. This is gonna go into the army, the Mutant Bears of Fate. Aye, man. Wasn't bad as well. I think it was like £7. And like the quality of the miniature is actually really good. Goes along with my army because of the book. It's like casting a spell, so it's just gonna be like a witch or some sort. And then we also have lots of little stuff. So I got like tiny little miniatures. I can't, don't even know where I put them. They're hanging around somewhere, but these things were literally like this small. So yeah, they're bound to get lost soon. Right, let's stick the arms on this dude and finish him up, because I'm getting tired and I'm gonna make more mistakes the more tired I get. So trying to fit this in here in a little pose, and the claw is too heavy, so use gravity. Oh yeah, yep, that's how we use gravity, folks. That's how we use gravity. Let's just put this back on. You've seen nothing. You see nothing. Nothing. Stick. Stick. There we go. See, this is the secret to how I kitbash. If you actually tell something to stick, it sticks. That's just the secret. So don't tell anybody else, okay? You've learned that here, folks. Talking to the super glue works. Okay? Let's give it another little dab here. Stick. See? It will stick. I hope so. And then the last thing would be this arm, which trying to get the orientation is going to be a nightmare, but we shall do it. So if we lean him here, hopefully, there we go, we should get this guy here. Oh, we're already ripping the arm off. Okay. Okay, folks. We're going downhill already. Get the Tamiya. Get the Tamiya. Get the Tamiya out. Alright. Just try to weld them pieces back together with the Tamiya extra thin. Because remember, the Tamiya extra thin cement is like a plastic glue, so it will weld them. So try not to use the super glue first. Use the Tamiya and then introduce the super glue as like an extra kind of protector. You can't go wrong with extra super glue. You know, well, you can when you glue half your desk to all your miniatures and your bits, but you know, think about that in the long run. You know, right now we're trying to build this miniature. When you're trying to build the rest of the miniatures and pick all your bits off your desk, then think about that. Alright, while we have this guy here and super glue there, like on it, let's use that to our advantage and stick this shoulder pad onto there. Okay. Okay. Onto there. Something like that. So this is where, yeah. So this is where this super glue comes in handy. The one that is more like of a gel. Because what will happen now is the shoulder pad shouldn't fall off. There we go. So that shoulder pad sits more flush there. And then we can actually put this down. And then work on our guy who has fallen apart. Yep. And we'll work on him now. So I'm actually trying to, my finger, look, everything's sticking to me. This is going terribly. Okay. We're getting fingers sticking to each other now. We got this. We got this. So if you're just joining us, we're kitbashing. If you're just joining us, we're sticking our fingers together here, folks. Alright. I think I might need some green stuff. I hope not, because... Or, do you know what I will do? Yep. Trusty old glue gun. So we're going to revert to the glue gun, folks. Before we do that, we should clean out the area. get a bit of room for the glue, because this claw is not going in here as quickly as I wanted to with normal glue. So we're just going to use our trusty friend hot glue. Stick a wee dab in there and get his claw, and we'll stick his claw in here. Yep. How long did it take me, Josh, to get the hot glue out? 30 minutes. Longer than I thought. But look at that. Look how easy that was to stick that in there. Wow. Amazing. And it's in. It's just there. Like, it's not moving. I don't have to lean it or anything. It's just in there. And you see this? See this one? Let's stick this guy on. Wait, you see this? Dab of glue. The hot glue to try to get the strain, or the string bit, not kind of as stringy. And then let's get this arm. Oh, okay, we have some strings coming. There we go. Now look at that. I think that is quite cool. So he has two arms coming out there. The claw coming out. And we're not done, folks, because remember, we also have this kind of... yeah, let's attach it on there. That has to go on there. So we'll stick some of this glue on, and then slide that on there. Just trying to get all the hot glue strands off. There we go. Now, so you have his little shoulder pad there. His neck, obviously, or his head, shall I say. He's got his arms. Like, one thing I could say is if this sword was slightly maneuvered a little bit further down, but it looks quite cool because he looks like he's protecting his head with the sword. He has the big gun on the side there. We can stick... I was going to stick a few grenades and stuff on him, but there doesn't seem to be any room. But what we could do is... I think a chain or two would be good on him. So if we go back to... or maybe this guy here. Here we go. So if we open up this, in here I have some purity seals. So maybe a purity seal would be good if we stick a purity seal or two on him. If I can get them out. Come on, purity seals, come out. Alright, let's just grab a few of them. Alright. We got one. Alright, well, you're getting one purity seal. So if you don't know what a purity seal is, it's this thingy here. Basically like a piece of cloth with a little skull decoration on it. But it's kind of a show of, I don't know, faith and stuff like that. So we'll stick a purity seal in the corner here. So right in there. And we just angle it down so It looks as if it's going like with the wind, if that makes sense. And one of these things on the back. Oh, well, it's gone. One of these things on the back here, maybe. What even is this thing? It's a key. No, we're not sticking a key on you. I'm actually pretty happy with this, dude. You know, plain and simple, double armed, double mutant arm, coming out the back there, covered over with a little shoulder pad thing. Let's actually orientate that shoulder pad a bit better. And then we've got a giant gun, sword, huge mutant claw. Yeah, I like this dude the way he is, to be honest. If we stick him now on our stand, so that's how he will look on our stand. Looks quite cool. Not a bad look, eh? And what did that take us? 36 minutes. A lot of carnage. A lot of fun. Really surprised myself at how he came out, to be honest. Definitely going to be added into the army, the Mutant Bears of Fate. Look up that army on Instagram and my YouTube channel. Definitely not, man. Look at the sword. Like I said, I would have liked it to be down a little bit more, but you know, it is what it is. And with a giant claw like that, a sword there, and a huge gun, he'd be the last person I'm going to walk up to and ask how the hell to get a nice beard like that, you know? But yeah, I actually really like this guy. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking at him going, you know, I wouldn't mind making some more guys like this. Maybe like my own kind of side faction or slash legion of uh, gene stealers. You know, kind of my incorporate it into my army of some sort. See how that goes. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Really, really appreciate you coming and joining. And sorry it's a short one, but I only wanted to jump on, do a quick short live stream before I went to bed, and say thank you all for supporting me so far. Hit that notification bell to be notified for when I go live again, because I'm bound to do another random live. And yeah, like, subscribe, and comment. Keep up the progress, everyone. Post on my Facebook and Discord and stuff like that. I'd like to see everyone else's like projects that you're up to. Let me know if you have any future projects or ideas that you'd like to see on the channel. And yeah, let's get the community involved. You know, we need to get this kitbashing community rolling. And see you in the next one, everyone. I'll stop rambling.